what are you going to do this weekend? Get on your That's So Raven for a second to make us look smart.
You mean my prediction for the week? I don't know. It's more of a feeling thing. I can't just really channel it. It just kind of hits me. So I don't know. I can't choose to when I'm gonna be clairvoyant.
You had it a week ago, though. So if we asked you a week ago, you could have just said you're about to go for 200.
Yeah, if you would have asked, then yeah, it doesn't always happen. But if I definitely had one for you this past week, if you would have asked me, you missed it though. Yeah, we'll see.
How often do you have those kind of feelings about a game coming in?
Well, I mean, I feel like before I would feel like that all the time, but depending on, I'm always feeling like I can, but it just depends on. I guess the feeling I had was more based on the film that I saw and, what they do, what they did against other teams that were, similar to us, what we do, and having some impact players over there too. So typically I just expect the same type of defense we get week in and week out. And they did. I mean, they definitely doubled and had their share of that. But just based off of some of the opportunities I saw based on formations and stuff like that, that's where that feeling kind of came from.
So what's the feeling you get when you look at the Bears defense?
What's the feeling I get? I mean, they got a really good defense. It reminds me a lot of their 2018 team. They got a really good D. They got a strong front seven and got some guys on the back end that can cover as well. So I don't got a number for you as far as what it's going to end in, but definitely got respect for what they got going on back there.
I don't want to sound unappreciative of your ability to see the future, but I'm more interested in your ability to recall the past. You talked about your deja vu feeling. And then I saw a clip of you being mic'd up on the sideline, and you're trying to explain it. McCarthy's in the frame, so it's at least 18
Yes.
or earlier.
2018, yep.
Can you give us a little bit better idea of what's going through your brain when this is because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm fascinated.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't want to freak anybody out too much, but I definitely have those moments where, I'll be running. Like it happened. Like I'll be running a deep route or whatever, and I'm running by somebody, and I'll see the ball, and like based off the angle that the ball's coming, it kind of, I don't know. It's really hard to explain. Based off the angle the ball's coming, I'll look up and I'll see it's coming, and it'll be like one that's coming over my shoulder, over the top right there. So it'll immediately, I'll have a moment where I'll flash back to San Francisco game with Richard Sherman. I'm running and that ball is coming, so it's kind of like a way of my brain telling or is your mind and your brain the same thing? My mind is telling my brain, like, you've seen this before, so it's, just catch it. Like, it's a super simple, it's just almost kind of like a relatability. Like, if you were in a car and, you were in a car accident and then you start swerving out the same way, you're like, oh, like this, I've felt this before. So it's kind of like the same thing. Weird example, but that's the best I can do for you.
This happens during that play.
While the ball's in the air, it's a quick flash. Like you've heard like the saying your life flash before, where like something crazy happens, and obviously it's like a second that goes by, but your brain kind of develops a whole story or whatever. That's basically what happens. I'll be running and ball be in the air, and I'll feel like I've been in that moment before, and it's basically deja vu, like an active deja vu, I guess you could say.
You have things like that when you're a kid?
Not that I can recall. Not that I can recall. I think I had to kind of grow into that superpower.
When that
You only have good deja vu from big plays, or was it all plays, good, bad?
No, it happened. It's happened before. I had it in college before too, where I actually got hit, and I was thinking about it the way I got hit, literally in the air as I was flipping, thinking about how that same thing happened again or before against Nevada, same type of situation. So I like it more when it happens on positive plays, but sometimes I'll have it, when I'm getting flipped in the air too.
How often does this?
You guys really are, y'all. I don't know. It's not. It's maybe 3 times a year, three or 4 times a year where it'll happen like that. More often than not, it's something where it's kind of like a slow thing. Like when you get hit, it feels like you're in the air for a really long time. When the ball's 60-yard bombs in the air, it feels like that ball's in the air for forever. So it's more so when there's like something going on, not really running a slant, like bam, I feel like I've ran this slant before. It's more so like a longer developing thing. Yeah. So hopefully we covered that.
So as to like when you run out the Soldier Field tunnel, does all your past success in that building come rushing back to you? Is it part of that?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different feeling than that, but that's just more so just, familiarity with being in the stadium, just kind of recall of what you've been through. But more often than not, I'm in the moment, but sometimes you'll, you know, like I said, pregame coming out, you'll have like that flashback of past experiences in the stadium and stuff like that too, for sure.
You remember saying that the long ball you had was a little bit of something from the past or an odd adjustment or something like that? Does that have anything to do with it? Like, have you run that route before in the previous offense?
It's not really related to like, you know, like, it's not like happening during the, like, I don't even know how to, y'all are asking me to get too in depth into it now. It's not really like I'm starting to run and then, oh, like, you know, this feels like a play from before. It's more so when the ball's in the air or like a specific thing happens right then. And, you know, like I said, I'm running, I'm looking for the ball, looking for it to be coming here, and it comes over the top. And, you know, not too many times we got to look for a ball like looking up in the air directly over you. So it's more of like an isolated feeling, something that I felt that wasn't super regular, or it doesn't happen every single game.
I'm sorry, I feel like I started this.
You did.
But it was also, you would talk about Jerry Rice talking about habits with you. I thought maybe they could be connected. Why are you guys not very good compared to what you've been in the past in the red zone right now, and how do you get better?
I think this comes down to not being quite, I feel like we can be more aggressive with the way that we are attacking these teams. I feel like it's getting really, really, you want to be simple, but not like it's obvious, but, you know, we're doing the same type of things down there. And I feel like if we make it simple but switch up, you know, some of the things that we're doing pass game wise, getting a few more isolated routes, stuff like that, those are the things that I scored on more last year. So it's something that I talked to Matt about. We all kind of been, you know, conversing about the ways we can get better in the red zone and get back to what we kind of made our identity last year. And, you know, we definitely not on that right now, so it's got to capitalize. And then the other thing is certain opportunities, making it easier on the team, get my feet up on the deep one and, you know, score on that, and then we don't have to worry about it. But, you know, when we get in those positions, we got to be able to make plays. So I just say we got to be a little bit more aggressive the way we're attacking them.
You said before that he's really good at listening to you guys. Is this one of those instances, like I'm guessing you're not asking him to do what Kansas City did the other night where they put two different guys under center and then, but when you bring him ideas, is this an instance where that's really valuable, that he's open to your discussions? And how
honestly, he came to me after the game. We were in the locker room talking about it for a second, and it's just like super constructive conversations. I mean, obviously we all want to put the ball in the end zone, and he's calling plays to do so. But, you know, if it's not working as well as what worked before, then sometimes we do for an adjustment and switch it up.
Davante, I don't want to ask a fantasy football question, but you lead the league in catches, you lead the league in yards, and you got 2 touchdowns after having 18 last year. How much of this red zone stuff is just you got to score more, and how much are you focusing on that in your own game?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get in from, I don't know if you noticed this year, but I'm trying to get in from wherever. You know, I'm trying to make them all count, and obviously when my numbers called, I like to think that, you know, down tight, I've been able to capitalize on it. But a lot of things they're doing differently this year. Earlier on, I feel like at the end of last year, they did a lot of the coverage stuff, but you know, early on, we kind of racked up some touchdowns. And the funny thing is, I'm really in the same spot as I was last year, as far as like what I had 2 touchdowns week 1, and then didn't play. I mean, I got hurt in the first half or the beginning of the second half of the Detroit game. Didn't score that game. Missed 2 weeks, and then you come in. I think I scored again week 6 or something like that. So it's really on. Anything can happen. You know, I was kind of feeling that way last year, like, dang, I wish I had a few more going into the games I didn't play. But you can't count them. You got to just make them count, because, you know, anytime I get an opportunity down there, whether I'm doubled or singled up, I'm going to try to come down with it and make sure we make them count.
Davante, have you kind of assessed the offense as a whole through 5 games? I mean, do you see a lot of room for growth yet?
Yeah, I mean, mainly is what we just talked about. I feel like part of what we do is, you know, we try to keep Mace off the field as much as possible, bring him on for those PATs and put points on the board, you know, not necessarily relying on that. Not that we can't rely on him, because we 100% can, but, you know, our identity is putting points on the board, and that's how you put pressure on teams and really, you know, assert your dominance is by scoring touchdowns. So that's the main thing. And the rest of it, you know, we just got to continue to find our flow and keep pushing the way that we have, because I feel like we've done a really good job. With the marriage of the run and pass game has been really good too, so just got to keep that going.
Davante, I know Mercedes doesn't have a ton of catches, throughout his time in Green Bay, but it does seem like he's had quite a few big ones, including on Sunday. Just wondering what kind of jolt in the game that gave you guys, and in those moments, what do you think he's been able to contribute, as a pass catcher?
I mean, Sadie's probably has the best film on the team, like since he's been here. Like as far as like grading out, obviously he's not playing 70 plays, but when he's in there, he's controlling grown men. And then when his name is called in the pass game, whether it's a screen or a keeper or whatever it is, he's making it count, man. So that's really all I can say about Big Dog. He's one of the most reliable people I've ever been around. So and I think the fact that he doesn't get a ton of targets makes us go even crazier when he does get it, because it's like, duh, like that's exactly what it should look like. And he had a couple last year that kind of gave us some boosts, and he'll do some stuff every now and then, remind you, or not remind you, but make you forget how old he is. Last year or 2 years ago, hurdling the dude from Philly, he looked like he was 210 on his screen last week. So, I mean, he still got that in his bag. As you can see, he may not be able to do it 10 times throughout the game, but he got 2 of them or 3 of them for you for a game. And, he's kind of the epitome of don't count your reps, make your reps count. So we lean on him.
Sorry.
2 more for Devontae.
Aaron's talked a lot about what it's meant for him to have Randall back here, and not on the football field, but like that, Randall living at his house during camp and couldn't get that together. Is that the case for you as well? What have you guys done, maybe, away from here that is great to have him back?
Yeah, I mean, me and Cobb have had a couple of different, not emotional crying moments, but we've kind of acknowledged to each other, like, I'll never take for granted, like, just having a brother like you on the team, just having him away. Obviously, I love the rest of the guys, but it was just I felt like a little bit of a void for a while. And, it kind of happened. I wasn't expecting it to pan out the way it did. So to be able to have him back now, we've gotten together multiple times. We got together for Dave's birthday, Kyle's birthday, just spending time throughout the day, too. I feel like before we kind of just all coexisted, and now we kind of take a second and, like, really look at the flowers now and really notice the color of the flowers, and not just on autopilot all day. It's like I got my guy here, and he's making my job easier as far as on the field, and leadership, all of that. So it's just been nothing but positive having him back.
Davante, every week in the NFL, you face a team where there's a coach or two that may have worked with a band or something, or a player, but this week you face a guy who was here every day for 3 years, and Mike Pettin.
Yeah.
Just talking to Nagy. What's that like for you guys going into this game?
Yeah, he'll probably be hating on us over there, trying to drop a few gems. And he told me a few things. I asked him before when he was here, just like how he would play me or whatever. Because I think when we played them, when he on the Browns, 2017, I think he was over there. So I'm like, how would you play me now? And he kind of told me a few things, but just in a joking matter. So I guess we'll see on Sunday how much alive that comes. But I'm sure he'll definitely be trying to drop some gems and figure out a way to stop it. But that's just kind of how the game goes.
As you think for the years
Last
of
one.
matchups with the Bears, what has this rivalry meant to you?
I mean, I look at everybody like a rival. It means something to me because I know how much it means to this organization and the town more than anything. I hate everybody that I play against. So when I'm going out there, I'm gonna try to, like I said last week, I'm gonna go out there and try to murder you, and with every opportunity I can. And they'll get the same treatment just like last week. It's the same thing in my head, but it's an age-old rivalry, and it means a lot to this town and just really to football. So it's important that we add another one in our column over here.